What's going on, you degenerates? You got Kyle from Sports Pulse here bringing you guys a quick UFC breakdown. Now, I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. There's not going to be any fancy graphics. We're looking at the Tapology screen. I realized I didn't have time tomorrow to record this, so I'm recording this at like 1 in the morning. I'm going to get this edited before I go to bed. Sleep like shit. It is what it is. But we are back, man. We've had some rough weeks in the UFC. We won 14 weeks in a row. Some insane profit. UFC 306 put a halt to our profit streak for a little bit. And then last week we took a moderate loss again, which is very fucking unfortunate. I hate taking losses, especially when I have people tailing me. It feels like shit, man. I feel terrible giving you guys plays that aren't profiting every single week. So we're back to our old ways right now. I'm about to go fire off some bets after I get done recording this shit. And yeah, let's get right into this. First fight here, we got Tim Means versus Court McGee. This is a battle of the uncles. These are the two uncles at your family barbecue that are just beefing with everyone trying to start a fight. In my opinion, Tim Means is a hell of a lot more dangerous. Court McGee is going to be trying to push the wrestling. I don't think he's going to be that successful at elevation. He might get the first round. I think Tim Means can come back, win the second, the third if he doesn't even knock him out. Probably give me Tim Means inside the distance, decision, no action. It's probably a bet that I'm going to be laying depending on the juice on that prop. Next up here, we got Ovince St. Preux versus Ryan Spann. I said this when this fight was first made. Ryan Spann should be minus 340 to nobody. This guy should never be a minus 340. I could go fight Ryan Spann. He should not be a minus 340 over me. Like, it's just ridiculous. Don't get it twisted. I'm not picking OSP. Beating Kennedy and Njoku was a fluke. He's not going to get another win, but Ryan Spann isn't going to go out there and flatline him, in my opinion. I think this fight probably goes long, getting Ryan Spann by decision. Carla Esparza, Tisha Pennington. Tisha Pennington was a plus 150, and I was looking at that line the second it dropped. I stared at it. I pulled the trigger when she was minus 115, when it was a pick'em fight. So I still beat the line value, but I could have got plus 145. I'm really upset that I didn't. It is what it is. I do think Tisha Pennington wins this fight. Carla Esparza, pressure wrestling. I don't think she's going to get the takedowns. I think Tisha Pennington has showed really good takedown defense, and even if she does get taken down, she is always looking to scramble, always looking to sweep, trying to get back to her feet, and never just settling in that flattened out bottom position. And that's something you really like to see. I also think Carla Esparza, her head might not be fully in the game. It's her last fight. Obviously, I think they're probably going to do a little send-off for her. If we're getting a send-off for the Karate Hottie, who was like an even win-loss fighter in the UFC, which is ridiculous, by the way. They should not have given her a send-off. Michelle Waterson did nothing. But I think Carla Esparza is going to get one. It's going to be a pretty cool little exit. The first strawweight champ. I think that's something to behold. And then we got Alexander Hernandez, Alex Hubbard. I see a lot of people on the Austin Hubbard side, and I don't see it, man. I don't think Austin Hubbard's that good. I think Alex Hernandez at 155 has had some very impressive performances. He looks like shit every time he drops down to 145, but it's back at 155. It is an elevation, and I know that he kind of slows. He's back at 155. I know that he kind of slows, and it is that elevation. A lot of people are worried about that. They think he's going to fall off. Sure, Austin Hubbard might win the third round, but guess what? Hernandez is going to win the first and the second. Obviously, Hernandez is winning the first with his onslaught. Austin Hubbard got a robbery victory in his last fight. He did not beat Mikhail Figlock. I'm going to stand on that. Figlock won that fight. Every media member had it scored for Figlock. No coincidences. Very close fight, obviously. A split decision's fair, but I think Figlock definitely won that fight. I've just not been super impressed by Austin Hubbard. I don't think he's done enough to get my vote here. If I can get some even money on Alexander Hernandez, I'm going to fire away on that for sure. We got Ihor Potieria versus Cesar Almeida. Cesar Almeida is another fighter that should not be minus 400. I'm not obviously going to be picking Ihor because I think he's terrible, but his losses are not the worst. There are fighters with worse losses than Ihor Potieria, and I think Cesar Almeida is a little bit overhyped. He got mollywopped by Roman Kopylov. By mollywopped, I mean Roman Kopylov took him down and laid on him and did absolutely nothing. I think Ihor can fight a smart game plan like he did against Robert Burchak, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I see this fight going to decision, getting really sloppy in those late couple rounds, and I think give me Cesar Almeida by decision. We got Marina Rodriguez versus Yasmin Lucindo. I think you got to go with the youth here, man. 22 to 37 is not a small jump, okay? Lucindo's aggressive. She wants to get this fight to the ground. I think if she takes down Rodriguez, it's her world. Obviously, she keeps it on the feet. Rodriguez is going to be able to strike. Usually she touches from range with her height advantage, but if you actually look down here, Lucindo has a reach advantage somehow with a 3-inch height disadvantage. She's got a kind of weird build. I don't think her striking is good enough to hang with Rodriguez if she doesn't shoot for the takedowns or get her in the clinch. I don't think she's going to win this fight, but I do think this fight will be very competitive. For the official pick, give me Yasmin Lucindo by decision. But give me that plus 3.5 on Marina Rodriguez. I think this is a close fight for sure. Stephen Thompson versus Joaquin Buckley. This fight should not be on the prelims. Let me just say that. And I'm going to go against the popular opinion here. Give me Wonder Boy. I think Buckley does not have the wrestling that is needed to take down Thompson. I understand he can mix in the striking to make the takedowns a little bit easier. I don't doubt that he gets Wonder Boy down once. I just don't think he can do that every round. I think if you try and strike with Wonder Boy, you're fucking stupid. Wonder Boy's going to outclass him on the feet every which way. I don't think there's a possible way that Buckley... Okay, Buckley's not getting a finish. Let's get that out of the way, first of all. Wonder Boy's one of the most durable fighters out there. It took a fluke shot from Pettis to get Wonder Boy out of there, but I just really don't think that Buckley has what it takes to get this done. A lot of people are hyping up a win over Ruziboyev. I was telling you guys when I picked Buckley in that fight that Ruziboyev is a fraud. He's not that good. He's fought nobody. His UFC win against Cedric Dumas came from an eye poke. Like, there's just nothing good going on about that guy. And I don't think Buckley has what it takes to beat Wonderboy Thompson. I think at the age of 41, he's going to squeak out a 29-28 decision here. Give me Wonderboy by decision. We got Roman Dolidze versus Kevin Holland. This fight right here is very interesting for a couple reasons. When I first looked at this fight, I was like, oh, hell yeah, I'm going to take Roman Dolidze, Kevin Holland's ass. But then I was like, shit, I might take Kevin Holland because Roman Dolidze's ass. Like, it's one of those fights where you don't want to pick a winner because they're both shit, and you hope they both lose. But I do think Roman Dolidze can do this with his grappling. We saw in Roman Dolidze's last fight, he actually used the wrestling against Anthony Smith, which has been his biggest disadvantage so far, is that he just has this elite grappling, but he doesn't have the wrestling to get it there. He actually showcased that he's willing to shoot for those takedowns. I think if you shoot for a takedown on Kevin Holland, you're like getting it 99% of the time. I think Kevin Holland is terrible. I think if Roman Dolidze gets this fight to the ground, he wins. If he doesn't get this fight to the ground, he loses. I think the fight's as simple as that. So, yeah, I think whoever wins this fight, it's going to be a decision. It's going to be super sloppy, super gross, trash fight. Give me Roman Dolidze by decision. Kayla Harrison versus Ketlen Vieira. Kayla Harrison, ground and pound knockout, second round. Lock that shit in, all right? I think Kayla Harrison is going to bully this chick. Obviously, minus 800, no kidding. Kayla Harrison's a man fighting women. This isn't fair. This is just fucked up. They just want to get her to the top, get her to fight Amanda Nunes on the return. I don't even need to say anymore. She's going to pick her up, slam her, a little Oshigari, and then that's over, man. The fight's over. Jose Aldo versus Mario Bautista. Give me Jose Aldo, man. Mario Bautista's not that good. His game plan relies a lot on the clinch and the wrestling. You're not taking down Jose Aldo. I'm sorry. Merab couldn't do it. You're not doing it. I think Jose Aldo has statistically the best takedown defense in the entirety of the UFC history. For like fighters with 10 fights or more, obviously, you're not going to get that one-off guy that is 100%. And as an underdog, I think Jose Aldo's got some great value. I think his striking upside is there. He looked very good in his last fight against Jonathan Martinez. He's obviously the best in the division at negating the leg kicks. Bautista is going to have to try and replicate the Merab game plan and just hold him against the cage if he wants to get this done. And I don't trust Mario Bautista to be able to do that for 15 full minutes at elevation. I think he's going to wilt. I think Jose Aldo is going to win rounds 2 and 3. And that's that, man. Jose Aldo by decision. Now we got a real banger here. We got Raquel Pennington versus Juliana Pena. Pennington by decision. Next fight. Main event time. We got Alex Pereira versus Khalil Roundtree Jr. Now, I was going to do a whole separate video breaking down this fight in particular because I have a lot to say about this fight, but I'm just going to do it in this video because we're only at 10 minutes and we got some time, man. I'm being real quick with these breakdowns. I'm not going too in-depth. I don't have a lot of time. I got to get this edited. So I think from watching the Khalil Roundtree tape, I think it's very interesting the way he fights. I think he's very good at slowing down fights in a very technical manner with his Muay Thai style. And I think he's going to be able to slow down this fight against Alex Pereira to get this into the later rounds. This is not a Khalil Roundtree pick. Let's not get that twisted. I'm picking Alex Pereira. However, I see a lot of people picking first round knockout. I don't know. I don't see that at all, man. I think that's a bad call. I think that Alex Pereira is going to eventually wear on Khalil enough, but Khalil, unlike Jamal Hill, unlike Yuri, does not leave himself open for the counter when he throws like that. Obviously, there are times when he throws super wild, but that's when he knows that he has you hurt. When you see him going with these like heavy overhand ground and pound hammer fists, he's not leaving himself open like that on the feet every time. I think he fights very technical. It's going to be a leg kick and teep battle for the first round. I think the second round they're going to get in some exchanges. Pereira's maybe going to get hit once. Khalil's going to get hit once. And I will say this, Khalil generally does not get hurt too badly in the actual striking exchanges. The times when he gets knocked out, the times when he gets hurt, it's from the clinch, from the elbows. Obviously, if he's going to shoot a takedown against the cage like Yuri did, that's a possibility. But Alex Pereira is not out there throwing elbows, standing up like Johnny Walker might. So I think this fight does extend. I think Khalil's got a good enough chin to make it. My bets for this fight are probably going to look like fight starts round 3, fight starts round 4, sprinkle a little bit on Pereira by decision possibly. But I don't think that you can pick Khalil Roundtree with a good heart. Obviously, he has a puncher's chance. We're in the light heavyweight division. Anything can happen. Salt Lake City is unanimous or synonymous, whatever you want to call it. I don't know the words, man. It's late. It's notorious. There we go. Obviously, Salt Lake City is notorious for those head kick upset knockouts. You got Justin Gaethje kicking Dustin Poirier. You got Holly Holm kicking what's her nuts? Fucking. You got Holly Holm kicking Ronda Rousey. You got Leon Edwards kicking Usman. It's just a little weird thing there. If you want to bet Khalil Roundtree by head kick knockout, I'd implore you to take the shot. However, give me Alex Pereira. We're looking at a round 3, round 4 knockout. My official call is going to be round 3. I would not be surprised to see this fight go to decision, though. I think it's going to get real sloppy towards the end. Alex Pereira obviously has a lot more kickboxing experience in those late rounds. Khalil does not have much experience there. I think he's going to slow. I think he's going to wilt, and I think he's going to be open for the kill shot in those rounds. Now, if you enjoyed this quick style little breakdown video, I try to rapid fire this shit. I'm probably talking really fast, doing all this. Just leave a like, man. Leave a comment. Do what you gotta do. I love talking about the UFC. I love making these videos. Unfortunately, this week I did not have the time that I wanted to have to make this video as good as I wanted to make it. But obviously the bets are always going to be quality. Doing lots of research throughout the week. Spend way more time on the research than I do on making these videos, man. I'm looking at stuff all week. We're looking at the NFL already. Just cashed out a $20 to $250 parlay on Thursday Night Football. We're feeling it, man. We're feeling the vibes, looking great. And yeah, if you want to join and get on this profit, join the VIP. If you're not about spending money to buy some picks, that's totally fine. I understand that. We're never going to pressure anyone to buy picks. You want to join the Discord for free, talk about your slips, talk about your bets, talk about sports, talk about anything. First link in the description, 100% free. You won't get charged $1. Just join the Discord, man. Talk with some people, share some slips. You can roast someone if they send a shitty ass slip. But yeah, well, other than that, we'll catch you in the next one, guys. Peace out.